Welcome back, diecast collectors, to the weekly haul video. This is episode number 4. Technically, it really should be episode number 3 because last week's episode I reviewed the 1986 complete Hot Wheels lineup of cars. This week I've got more than Hot Wheels to show you. I've got all sorts of cool things I want to share with you that I found at the flea market, and also all the cool things I found online. Latest from Greenlight, Johnny Lightning, AutoWorld, tons of cool stuff we're going to get into pretty shortly here. Also going to give you a quick review on the update for my Majorette video. This is all of my Majorette cars, which turned out to be hundreds more than I was really anticipating on putting out on the table. I just started procuring them from all over the place, and before I knew it, I covered the whole table I normally film on. So we're going to be moving into the rest of the Hot Wheel Museum for this video, where I'm going to take you through all the stuff that I've just acquired for the weekly haul video. Now, I don't want to spoil the Majorette video here, so I'm just going to give you a little appetizer, something to whet your appetite for the actual video. Coming soon, very soon, working on this presently. Those are all Majorette vehicles, and here are all my junky Majorette vehicles, which I've displayed on the junkyard. So lots of cool things, and this is really only about 2/3 of the collection. All of my large Majorette trucks are still in the drawers, along with the construction equipment and some of the larger scale stuff. So for the Majorette video, we're going to zoom in and look a little closer at all this stuff. That'll be a dedicated Majorette video. Stick around for that. Should be coming out in the next week or two. And now we are in the adjoining Hot Wheels Museum, next to the Hot Wheels room. And guess what I found at the flea market? A 1968 Supercharger Hot Wheels race set. 100% complete other than the cars, and fully functional, no broken parts. Have all of the instructions, all of the track pieces required to assemble this, and connectors, 10 appropriate connectors. I've double checked all of the count for the pieces, the counters, 2 functioning motors or boosters with the original decals or stickers, as you would call them, still on these things and intact. Unbelievable condition, truly a rare find. We're going to assemble this quickly and see if we can't put these 50th anniversary Redline cars through their paces. Now let's go over and take a look at all the new items that I found on eBay this week. For that, we head over to the Hot Wheels Museum party sofa, where we've got the table set up, actually an old Target bench, which I found when Target was closing. That's a whole nother story though. It's pretty cool though, works pretty well for this sort of video, I think. And anyways, lots of cool things here. Might have a little bit too much light on the table, we might have to adjust that, but brand new from Greenlight, Estate Wagon Series 1. I have been looking forward to these castings so much. We're going to get a few of these open up for you, at least one of each color. And also the 55 Chevrolet 210 Handyman, that's pretty cool. So we might as well just look at all these real quick here. No, we'll go through them all quickly. We'll give you a quick overview actually first. 6 vehicles from Johnny Lightning. I haven't bought Johnny Lightning in a while, so there's a bunch of cool stuff there. Some really cool pickup trucks. And then above that, these were some local Walmart finds. I don't normally buy this stuff, but these trucks look too cool to pass up. We're going to open those up, check them out. 1/64 scale from Jada. Is that how you say it? Jada? Anyways, a whole bunch of AutoWorld cars. And yes, look at all of those Buick Estate Wagons. Got 4 of each color, and a whole bunch of other cool AutoWorld cars. We're going to open up a couple of these, and certainly at least one in each of these Estate Wagons to check them out, in case you haven't seen them already. And that's not all. We've got a box of vintage Hot Wheels. About 20 Hot Wheels still in the bubble wrap. Going to do a fast forward opening with you. I don't even really remember what I bought here, but it's going to be a really cool set of all Blackwall vintage cars in mint condition. Things I needed to add to my collection that I did not have. So we'll go through that first before we look at all this Greenlight, AutoWorld, and Johnny Lightning stuff. Definitely got a little bit too much light here on the cars, but oh well. Yes, that is an original Hot Wheels Vintage Racing Brie Datsun. I took that out of my collection to compare it with the Johnny Lightning Brie Datsun 510. I needed to get one of these red ones because when I bought my first set at the Walmart locally in the wild, lo and behold, I got a green machine. And I really wanted a red one as well. So that one will be getting opened up. All these cars will be getting opened up other than that one and that one. Continuing with the Tokyo Torque Series 3, it now features a blue paint job. There's a Hot Wheels car that resembles this one quite well as well, but I don't have that one. It's just too expensive to add to my collection. I don't mind spending the big money on the older cars, but the newer stuff, I think I'll wait and see how those prices pan out in time. So far, they seem to be increasing substantially, but oh well. Too much to collect, can't buy everything. From Hot Pursuit, Series 28. My goodness, we're all the way up at Series 28 now. I got what I consider the 3 best vehicles from this set. We'll take a look at those, as well as on the back, the other vehicles available. Here is the United States Postal Service LLV USPS truck, and the new version here is the Canada Post LLV with mailbox. We're going to open that up. That's a Greenlight exclusive, hobby exclusive. Without further ado, let's get straight into this unbubbling of these vintage cars. Well, I think this will be more fun to do in real time. We'll just discover the cars as we go. Shouldn't be too hard to get them out of their packaging. So let's give her. Now, this car you may recognize from my 1986 video. It's a Flipout from 1986, the Camaro Wind. I just wanted a better example. I noticed mine was a little scuffed up, so I managed to find this one on eBay for $10, plus a little bit of shipping. But as you can see, it's in great condition. So I'm going to replace the one that I have on the wall with this one. I think that'll work out nicely. Let's see what the next vehicle is. These ones have a bit more packaging. That one was an individual purchase, but this doesn't look like too much trouble. It's kind of like a Kinder Surprise, except way cooler. I think that's the Big Bertha. No, the Tough Customer from Night Force. This would be early 90s blue card, I'm pretty sure. Maybe mid-90s. No date or anything on the base. It says 1974. That's not when this paint job was released. That's when the casting was released. But this is one I didn't have in my collection, surprisingly, with that purple and black. There's a few other military vehicles in the 90s that have that paint scheme, which I probably should check to see if I have. I just knew I didn't have that one. Probably a side purchase from the rest of the lot, which all came from the same seller on eBay. And he packages things quite well. Now, this is a cool car that I had from my youth. Who makes this again? I forget. Bandai. This is a Transformer car. I had one of these growing up, and I remember I lost the back window or leg portions of this car. It's based on about an 85 Nissan 300ZX. Let's see if we can't... I wasn't even looking for this. I just saw it when I was buying his other items. And, of course, I had to have it. I guess I should put this in view of the camera. Had to have it because remembered this from my youth, and it's just so cool. They just don't make stuff like this anymore. Anyways, he's got some arms or some fists in there somewhere. These are the legs. Very poseable car. And there's the cockpit or the head or whatever you want to call it. It's mostly plastic, but it's got a good little steel frame underneath. They are kind of fragile, so it's not something I'm really going to mess around with too much here. But that's my little Bandai. Just had to have that. So happy. Paid about $5 for that, so I think I did all right. Oh, what have we got next? What have we got next? Uh-oh, something's digging into the plastic here. Oh, it's a Flipout. That we can be sure of. Another Flipout car that probably was in nicer condition than the one I have in my collection. The Flipout mechanism seems to have gotten caught in the tissue paper. Ah, yes. This is what started it all. I was looking for a slightly better condition police security car than the one that I presented in the 1986 video. And this one is nice and minty, which is great. Didn't have to open it up or anything. And I do have a black one I found online as well. It's on its way. I don't have it yet, but it's in the package and it is going to get cracked. Probably in haul video episode 5 next week if it arrives on time. That car was, I think, $13, which is not too bad for these flip-out cars. Those ones are, I thought would be more, but actually I was surprised to find quite a few Only 2 of the black ones though online, which was interesting. Just again shows you that they're a little more rare. Now I've got a pack and pacer here. Mine is pretty beat up, my Blackwall version. I've got a gold hot one version that's in good shape. Typically these tampos seem to be kind of susceptible. This one's got a few scratches in the tampo, but not right down through the paint. So otherwise no chips. Very nice. I think that was about $5 or $6. Not bad at all. Not bad. Seller's quite reasonable. Bought from him many times before. And what do we got here? This is a variation. Amazingly, I didn't have this variation of the Jeep CJ7. This is about a 1987 release. I think you're going to see this in the next Hot Wheels year by year video. So we can talk about it more at that point, but this is a variation I didn't have because they came with a whole bunch of different interiors, wheels, metal bases, unpainted, painted bases, blah blah blah. Lots of different variations we'll get into later in the appropriate video. Too much stuff to show you here to go into too much depth on these at this point in time. Interesting little Tamika. Dodge Coronet Custom with opening doors, all metal. This would be definitely a car from the 70s. I mean, released in the 1970s. Clearly it's a 1970s Coronet, but yeah, that's cool. Scale, 1/74th. Full suspension. Nice car. That was about $8. What do we got here? Been doing a lot of shopping on eBay this past week, so there's going to be some pretty cool things coming down the pipeline as far as the weekly haul videos here as we go. This is really cool. This is a Road Champs. Ford Thunderbird 1984 on the base. Opening doors. Really like this car. It's got superb proportions for a car of this vintage. Probably a mid to late 1980s Ford Thunderbird rendition. Really cool. It's even got the defrost lines in the rear windscreen. Some suspension. The wheels look remarkably similar to Hot Wheel wheels, which I really like. I think that's pretty cool. So that's a really nice find. I definitely didn't have one of those in my collection. Looks like we got a 3-banger here stuck together. I may have had a few of these ones coming in my collection, but we'll look at them as we go here. Feels like an Auburn 852 to me. Yes, it is. That's about a 1983 release. Not anything rare. This was a 4-vehicle set, so we'll get through that. I think I paid $12 for all 4 Auburn 852s. And here is the reason why I bothered to buy them, even though I already have this one. This is the dark brown fender from 1981. The yellow enamel. We're getting to it. That wasn't what I thought. Here's the one that is going to be worth well more than $12 in my opinion. This is an exceedingly rare, especially in mint condition. Auburn 852, 1981 with the light brown fender tampo variation, or not tampo, plastic variation. The seats, the fenders, all that stuff. You can see more about that in my 1981 year by year video. I think this is the 3rd one I have, but this one is dead mint, so had to add that to my collection for safe keepings of the Hot Wheels. Save every Hot Wheels I can. What we got here? Cool. Definitely got a few of these. You probably saw them in my Matchbox wall display video when I had all the Matchbox cars on the wall. Got a Lincoln Continental, or what is it? Lincoln Continental Mark V from Matchbox. Released in the 1970s. Really nice. I think I paid about $5 or $6. I've got lots of these cars, but it's truly one of my favorite castings. I just can't help but buy them when I see them. If they're at a reasonable price, which I consider that to be. It's not a rare car, but I mean, again, in mint condition, where are you going to find one of those? Not very often in the wild. And another car from the 1986 review series video I just did last week. This exclusive, track set exclusive Nissan 300ZX with the opening doors. Of course, we looked at this car already fairly recently, but this was just a target of opportunity as I was buying the other cars. I think that was about $4, which, geez, you can't go wrong. Pretty hard car to find. That's the box. Super cool little collection. One last overview. Got the Bandai Transformer car all figured out. That's the way he's supposed to look. Super awesome. Anyways, just thought I'd give you one last peek at these cars before we go on to the AutoWorlds presently. So as you saw earlier, two colors of the muscle wagons from AutoWorld. This is version B and version A. Series 1 for 2018. And there's the packaging. Pretty cool. It's got the authentic car color on it. Burgundy poly. Lots of information on these packaging. We're going to focus more on the cars. Sorry about that. There's the other cars in the series. We've got the muscle wagon here. I don't have the other cars as far as this collection. I really, again, have to only collect what I like. I'm not sponsored by these companies, so I did buy 4 of each of these wagons because I plan on doing some demolition derby cars with these wagons. Now, one interesting tidbit about these cars is these are released in numbers of 4,400, whereas other AutoWorld cars are typically released in lower numbers, 1,800. I think the others in this series are around the 3,000 mark. So the companies that sell these cars know that a lot of people like me are going to hoard a few of these cars for customs or whatever reason, and so they make them in a larger number, which I'm very grateful of. If only Hot Wheels would do the same with some of their more popular castings. They try and fail, it seems, when it comes to the premium lines, but blah blah blah, enough about that. Look at this car. It's awesome. I really, really dig this car. It's got some awesome lines to it. Huge fan of large 4-door 70s cars, and an even bigger fan of the station wagons. 70s and 80s, really. So we're going to be looking at some 1980s station wagons from Greenlight here in a moment. But first, check out all the detail. I'm wondering if we can get that hood open for you easily enough. Nope, can't get that one open, so we'll try the green one. It wants to open, but it just keeps springing shut, so I'm risking breaking a blade here. Don't want to do that. So there's the green one, and that one is Ranch Green. Ranch Green. Love that I can just rip these open. Normally I don't do this with my AutoWorlds if I've only got one of them. The packaging is so awesome. Cars are way more awesome, though. I really should just open them up. Wow, that's cool. Really like that green interior. Very detailed, of course. Right down to those little license plates and all those grill work. Buick right across the front. Head east. Take it all in. Little chrome roof racks. Authentic rally wheels for this car with white wall tires. Extremely heavy. And these are the proper 1/64 scale. So as you'll see, compare this next to other cars as we open them up. This is a monster of a car. Alas. Perseverance pays off. Oh, that's as far open as it gets. What a shame. There is a detailed engine under there, but hard to see without forcing the hood all the way open and possibly breaking it. Not sure why it's putting up so much resistance. I'll try that out later. I am going to disassemble a couple of these for the demolition derby purposes, of course, but we'll do that at a later date. Some other AutoWorlds just before we get into those Greenlight wagons I mentioned. These ones are not getting opened up, so we'll just look at them quick. I don't know if this is from this year or last year. I think this is a 2016 release. Plymouth Roadrunner. I was buying all these cars in complete sets up till about 2015 or 2016. Yeah, this is a last year model. But I found that with AutoWorld, their castings are probably by far the best castings in the 1/64 scale market. Next to Greenlight. Greenlights are right up there as well. However, the variety of cars, that was a 62 Chevy Impala hardtop, and that one's actually from this year, and it's a 4400, so Nassau Blue Poly, pretty cool. But yeah, a lot of these cars have been released in years prior, very similar, or just a different paint color. And at the price of these cars, they're about $10 each. It gets expensive buying the same cars over and over again. Although I wish I could. That's the 66 Oldsmobile 442. Absolutely gorgeous. I've got two more. I'm going to open these ones up, I think. They're really cool. These are the Deluxe series, so a step down from the Premium series. These ones feature plastic base and a more universal type wheel versus these authentic wheels for each car. But you can see these cars well. To heck with it. I'm opening it up right now. Really want this car out of the package. That's a beauty. Look at how glossy that is. I can see myself. Hi. Really cool. No license plate on that car. And we got the white one. Cars in this series. This is 2017 release 1. I definitely have a few of these. I have those El Caminos already. It's Mercury Cougars, so those ones are loose. These ones might as well be as well. The packaging's really cool, but the cars are just gorgeous once you get them out. Especially. Lots of details on these. Don't really have the real estate to roll these around like I do in some of my other videos. We also get a big pile of cardboard building up here. Into the Greenlights. The most highly anticipated series for me this year, other than also the monster trucks which are coming out, are these Greenlight Estate Wagons. This is the Series 1, first series. The packaging is awesome. That station wagon, the shape of the package matching the wagon, and of course the cars themselves are just dynamite for a collector like me, and hopefully for collectors such as yourselves. Really cool nostalgic advertising artwork on the back. And also we've got some other cars in the series that I didn't collect. Volkswagen Type 3 squareback panel. The 68 Volkswagen Type 3 squareback. And I'm missing one. 55 Chevrolet Nomad. I didn't get that one. So I got the other three. This one, the 79, the 85 Ford LTDs, and of course the 210 Handyman 55 Chevrolet. Check this out. I mean, this car is amazing. We're going to open these up right now for you. We've got like 5 of these cars each. We've got 5 each, so. Also going to be doing some Demolition Derby customs with these coming up for a Demolition Derby video. Not sure when that's going to happen, but it is in the works. Look at the detail on this thing. It's even got the hitch and tow trailer, so you can tow some stuff with it. Woody panels, treaded tires, white walls, hubcaps. Super, super details in this car. Right down to that little Ford emblem on the grille. No license plate on the front. That makes sense. And check out the details on the window. The chrome surrounds. You got the roof racks. Also the ribs there under the roof racks are painted silver as they should be. True 1/64 scale. And let's see if we can focus. Country Squire right behind that signal light. Absolutely fantastic details on this car. What does it say on the bottom? There you go. You got your information. Number 222 out of the run of an unknown number. I think these cars are running about $6 or $7 US on eBay right now. I'm sure they're going to go up in price, at least until Greenlight floods the market with a bunch more colors, which I surely hope they do, because I will buy every color of this car. Hopefully they put out some distressed junkyard versions, Demolition Derby versions already, so I don't have to go ahead and do all that crazy customizing that I'm going to do anyways. So there's the beige one, tan color, whatever you want to call it. Here is the blue one. I like the blue one a little better than the tan version. Just such a nice job on that blue metallic paint. I forgot to mention, these tailgates drop. Isn't that awesome? So this is just a car that I think is just going to do really well. Again, great Greenlight details. Showing the difference between the front grille on the 79 versus the 85. Quite obvious. Different bumpers as well. Other than that, cars are basically the same. So some really cool details there. Different license plates as well, which is nice. So which one do you like better? Might be fun to mix and match the interiors on these too. So that's a new casting, as I said, from Greenlight. Awesome job, very good, very good. So here's another new casting, the 55 Handyman, 2-door wagon. Pretty cool car, if I may say. It also comes with a hitch. Lots of chrome and very nicely done details on this. The taillights, the hubcaps, the interior. No opening parts on this car, but a very heavy piece, of course. Let's just see the size difference between an 80s full size and I guess a 50s mid-size wagon. So there you go. What else have we got from Greenlight? Let's look at the Tokyo Torque next. We're going to open up one of these, 71 Brie. There's the green machine. I'm not sure if I showed you guys this one before. That was a nice score to be able to pick that up at my local Walmart for, you know, $9 or $10 Canadian. That one's not getting opened up, of course, but we've got this one getting opened up. And this one. So this is Series 2, Series 3 of Tokyo Torque. Pretty much got most of these cars out of this collection. I won't go through them all, but you can pause on that if you need to see them. And the newer version here, Season 3, lots of 70s cars. And one 2000 Nissan Skyline. I did get that one. It's in green. So we're starting to see lots and lots of different paint variations on these cars. So that was Series 3. This is Series 3. We'll get them open up so you can actually see them. And what I won't open up for you, of course, like I already said, I dug out a couple of these vintage racing Brees. I'm seeing these things on eBay asking prices of $500 to $600. Really? Is anyone actually paying that for these? As if so, maybe I should be selling my duplicates. I got 3 of these, all mint on card. I don't know. Seems like a lot of money. I bought these back in when they came out by the case, 2010. And you know, I think they were $5 each. Anyways, well, what a treat opening these cars up. These cars are awesome. We've got the 510s here. Do a little comparison, red versus blue. Got the hoods open. Nice little detailed engines. And those lower front spoiler lips are a nice accessory. Really nice matching set of cars, and they are going to look awesome next to each other along with all the other cool little 510s I have on display. And just before we get into the other cars, now I said I couldn't open this one up right now, but here is the difference between 1/64 scale and Hot Wheels scale. That is just goes to show you the Hot Wheels. Whoa! The Hot Wheels scale is substantially larger. I would guess more around the 155 scale or 154 scale. This is actually a very small car, so put it next to a station wagon, for instance, and you can almost park it in the car short of the dashboard. That should be the size difference, though. You got a tiny little Japanese car here and a full-size American car, so that's about right. But really cool. I mean, I don't think I need to go over how detailed these things are. Really, the camera does the car all the justice required. But wait, you think that's detailed? Check out this casting. I've got the hood open here for a reason initially. Awesome details on this Skyline. This is a newer casting by Greenlight, and wait till you see what's under the hood. Oh my goodness. Is that a real engine? Like, is there a little key in there that I can turn and maybe this thing will start up? That is the most detailed engine I have ever seen in a 1/64 scale car. By far. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at the mirrors on it. Even the mirrors are appropriately... you can tell how small this is. Look at my finger compared to it. You need to... it almost needs like a magnifying glass to fully appreciate the level of detail that went into this little 1/64 scale car. It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So obviously that's a top pick right there. I'm going to be buying basically every single one of this car that they produce because of that engine. Not to mention all the other awesome details that this car has and the fact that I absolutely love this car. It's a great little piece of racing history here. And looks really nice on those rims. So into a newer vehicle here. The newer Skyline has a fairly detailed engine. I mean, they're really detailed engines, but after you see that 1970s Skyline engine, all other engines just kind of pale in comparison, but that's not to say that Greenlight doesn't produce the most detailed engines of all 1/64 scale brands. I like that license plate. R34. And check out the carbon fiber look on this hood. I mean, it doesn't get much more realistic looking than that. Again, the mirrors are painted. Fin is painted. Check out that muffler and tailpipes. It's just wicked. Like wicked details. These are absolutely phenomenal. Bang for your buck. I'm afraid to say, well, I'm not afraid to say, I'm happy to say, Greenlight. And look at, they roll quite nicely. All this in a nice rolling car. Anyways, we've got more Greenlight to look at. Into Hot Pursuit. We're going to do Hot Pursuit 28 here. We're going to open up these three vehicles. So I've got, just to look at the back, what other vehicles, doesn't say what other vehicles are available on the back of these packages. That's okay. They're all the newer vehicles. I kind of stick to the 80s and 70s cars. I'm not really collecting any more of the 2000s Ford Interceptors or Crown Victorias, anything like that. We're going to open up those three for you right now, as well as, not that one, because I only have one of him, but I'm going to open up this Canada Post truck. I've never opened up one of these, and I've got more on the way. Being a Canadian, I kind of want to build a little army of these things, so I could open this one up for you. And let's take a look at these four vehicles. More absolute Greenlight awesomeness. This is why, if you're not an opener, you maybe might want to consider becoming one. Check out the details on this Canada Post truck, which will be the same details you'd find on the United States postal truck. But more than meets the eye when you're just looking at the packaging, this is a very robust, all metal casting. The bottom is painted a satin black, but it is metal. And extremely authentic dish wheels on it. Look at all the rivets that you can see under the paint, under a certain light. The mirrors for the driver to see what's going on. And what have we back here? Look at that. I mean, what? Greenlight is just blowing everything out of the park here with the level of detail, function, and heaviness of their diecast. It truly is. It truly is like the best diecast on the market. They've got the details, they've got the selection, and they have the quality. And at the price point that is affordable for most collectors looking for this type of quality in a vehicle. And then there's the scale. These are all proper scale, which to me is one of the most important things when it comes to collecting. Look at that, all those lights, the handles. The details are so small, I have to use my camera actually to check that out. Look at that, CanadaPost.ca right on the side. There's their phone number. Give them a call. Find out where your parcel is. I'm missing one parcel. Maybe I'll try that. I'll give them a call. Not only do you get that, you get this super detailed little, I can't even hold it, scale mailbox. Canada Post mailbox. This is made of plastic, but look at the detail on this thing. What? That is incredible. How do they even have printers that can print stuff this small? This is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyways, that is just wicked. I'm glad I got a few more of those on the way. The 87 GMC Vandura. Big fan of these Vanduras. Another super heavy casting. Lots of really nice details on this thing. And check out the light bar. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Got the whaler in the center. And this one has, interesting, a lot of these have an unpainted base than previous releases and paint jobs. This one has a nice kind of almost a satin charcoal paint base, which is a nice touch. And this is my favorite car of Pursuit Series 28, and really one of my favorite cars from Greenlight that's still a fairly recent casting, the 77 Pontiac Le Mans. Just waiting for the Bonneville next. Come on, guys, give me a Bonneville. But this thing, the lines are awesome. The engine detail, like first the grille detail, the headlights. Another super detailed engine. 400 big block under the hood. This one is Denton Police. Another really nice light bar. I mean, look at the lights in the light bar. Beautiful lines on this car with all the chrome in the appropriate spots. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous car. Let's put that next to one of the wagons from the 80s. These are full-size cars. Yes, they are. Okay, and the final car from Greenlight that we're looking at today is the 77 Plymouth Fury. Another awesome car. This one's got the a different style of light bar with the cherries, the dual cherries, and the big megaphone whaler in the center. Whoop, focus. Yep, okay, we've got a license plate, flat black grille, Tennessee State Trooper. Really like that color combo, looks really nice, the tan and gloss black, and that is glossy. And there's the back. Beautiful. Beautiful cars. Where are they? I got those Jada Trucks. Jada. Let's just quickly crack those open for you. So these are part of a 6-vehicle set. I don't normally buy this stuff. I only bought it because of the C10. I think that's pretty cool. I think it's a little bit bigger scale than 1/64th, just by kind of checking it out. We'll know more once I open it up. Then we've got the 2008 Ford F350 Super Duty with a massive lift kit. This looks like a Florida swamp mud truck to me. Pretty cool stance. Not a fan of the aqua green suspension, but I'm planning on doing some paint work to this one. Painting some nice Rancho shocks or something of the sort. What do we got on the back? Alright, these trucks are pretty cool. We'll look at the Ford first. There it is, big 4-door crew cab. It's got the full box. Nicely detailed. You know, if you painted the taillights and some headlight work, this thing would look a lot better as well. So that's some pretty easy modifications for just about anyone to do. And some really nice wheels on it. These are rubber tires with some big chrome, look like almost like Pro Comp type wheels. And it's kind of plastic base, plastic suspension, metal body, kind of metallic white. And just the only vehicle I had really close to resemble it to of a known scale is this Greenlight Ford F-150. And you know, the scale's pretty close. This Jada is a little wider, probably a little bit wider than it should be. Not really sure about that, but pretty close enough for a Super Duty version of the truck. Perhaps it should be wider. It might actually, I don't know if it should be that much wider, but anyways, not a bad little casting for $5. I don't really have a scale Silverado to compare this truck to, but it is very nice in this glossy black paint job. They've done a pretty nice job of it. It's got the same kind of wheels as the F350. It's got the blacked out, what's that called? Can't remember. When you take the taillights and just go right over the bodywork. Anyways, shaved? No, that would be the door handles. Something like that. It's got a custom grille on it. I like that the suspension is silver on this one. It still could be detailed a little better. But really, the truck itself doesn't need any more details because it's basically a custom looking truck. It's supposed to be blacked out. This isn't really a fair comparison, but here is a convention truck, I think, from Hot Wheels. It's a square body Silverado, about the same vintage. You can tell these Jada trucks seem to, they got a little bit of a toyish width to them, a little bit more wider than it probably should be. The lengths are about the same, and the reason why I'm even comparing it to the Hot Wheels is because I think the Hot Wheel is a pretty good 1/64th scale, actually, even though a lot of Hot Wheels aren't. This truck somehow seems right to me. It seems like the right scale. So I didn't really dig up a whole lot of information on this truck. I bought it a couple of years ago, so I've kind of forgotten without doing some more research on it. But it is a beauty, is it not? That is an absolute beauty of the 83 Silverado. And this is the 85. So, I almost forgot about the Johnny Lightnings. How could you forget about Johnny Lightnings? Just so many cars to look at. We'll just look at these here pretty quickly. I'm not going to open this one up. Some of this packaging stuff I like to just keep in the packaging because it looks great with the vehicle, and I've got a spot for my packaged green lights. So generally the plastic blister ones that are really nice card work I'll keep in the packaging. This one I'm going to open up, the Import Heat, one of 3600. You can pause on that if you want to read that big long blurb about Japanese drift cars. It's a Mijo exclusive. I'm going to open that one up. This one's going to stay in the package. I really like the artwork on it. 1/64 scale diecast Texaco. It's got a big Texaco gas pump. Another cool truck. I've got lots of these cool Dodge A100 trucks, mostly on the package, and a really nice engine. I should probably open them up, just like I should open up the rest of my AutoWorlds, but at this point I just haven't. The Union 76, that's a pretty cool looking package as well. Might just leave that one in for now since we've still got that track set to play with and assemble. I'm not sure how long this video is going to be by the time I get it all edited together, but we'll try and do the best we can. Toys R Us exclusive. One of only 2,520 of these Mustangs. What year is this? 82. Ford Mustang GT. Tons of detail on that car. In bright red. Kind of really want to get that car open up. I'm going to open that one up. Can't really see with all the details being behind the chrome. Or the packaging. Giving it a chromey look. So that's a really nice. I don't have a casting of this year of Mustang from Johnny Lightning, so that is really quite nice. Pretty cool. Now you can see they have a bit more of a unique style for Johnny Lightning versus the AutoWorlds and the Greenlights, but still extremely detailed and nostalgic, kind of like Hot Wheels. You know? So they have been out in some shape or form since the 60s. Johnny Lightning, one of 2,500. American Motors in plum poly, the 74 AMC Hornet. And some other cars to collect in the series. And I think those are the other cars to collect. All 6 Classic Gold 2018 Release 2. I wish I could collect them all, but, you know, I just can't. So, collect what you like. Now that's a nice one as well. No opening parts on these. I'm a little surprised they don't have opening hoods and stuff. I'm pretty sure these castings used to have opening hoods back in the Playing Mantis days, but I may be wrong. Very nice details nonetheless. And very authentic paint jobs, of course. So. Now that is a sweet little drift car. Really liking the details on this one. Those rims and tires. And of course all the way around, lots of detail. Look at the defrost lines on this one. Those are superb. Not sure if that's an opening hatch or not. It kind of looks like it might be, but it's hard to say. Get a little, I'm gonna get the little knife here and just try and gently pry it open, see how that goes. No. Well, feels like it might want to open. I'm not solidly sure on that, whether it's supposed to or not. Gonna look inside to see. I don't know. It feels like it wants to open, but then again, maybe not. Not worth scratching it or wrecking it. So, really cool car. And nicely painted black base. Focus camera. The camera is telling me you should get over to the Hot Wheel playset and start playing soon. But a lot of nice cars that we looked at today so far. Hope you've enjoyed the video so far. And hopefully stick around for the race set now. So I guess we'll do a little review of this set before we just go into a fast forward building of it, or I'm not sure. I'm not going to do it in real time, obviously. There's the original box it came in, so it's a big box. Got some great artwork on it. Now it has multiple configurations. This is a great set if you had two players. Supercharger. It's got a little bit of a torn up one side, but oh well. And there you go. That's that. It had a date on here somewhere. 1969. There it is. 1969. Mattel Inc. Motors, made in Japan, assembled in Canada. Contains cars made in the USA or Hong Kong, as designated therein. So they only show the one setup on the outside of the box. Race Speedway ovals through the supercharger power boosters under the lap counters. It did originally come with two Hot Wheels cars, which appear to be kind of illustrated here. It looks like a Chaparral, perhaps, and a Ferrari. I'm not sure. Not sure exactly. Could be ambiguous artwork, really. Okay, so that's the box. The other side is in really nice shape, as you can. Well, no, not really nice, but that's the box. The boosters, great condition. Now, one sticker has come loose. That's going to come off, and the counters seem to count on the one side, but not the other. Through a little bit of testing. That shouldn't matter at all for actually trying this thing out. The track all seems to be in good shape, and if any of them do split, as they often do, they are like 49 years old. They got a funky, rubbery smell to them. But I've got lots of extras of this orange track. It's pretty easy to come by. It's really the other parts, such as these one-piece banked corners, which are super nice. These are often abused or got stress cracks, but these ones are in really nice shape. 4 of them. 1 truss. Anyways, let's look at the instructions. I'm not going to build the 2-player set here, which you can see there. These boosters came with batteries in them too, which are luckily not leaking. No corrosion in the battery chamber. And then you've got this interesting kind of a one-person play setup with taking advantage of the truss. And as you can see, it's 2 loops combined together. It says to raise the curve, stack books here or use your Hot Wheels box. And then you've got this extended long loop, which has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, basically the equivalent of 7 of these 2-foot track pieces. These are, I think, 24 inches long. Yeah. So that would be 14 feet long. That'd basically take up half my basement here. So we'd have to really set up a few different camera angles to capture that. Even this one is going to be enormous. 1, 2, 3, 4 and a bit, plus the corners. You're looking at probably 12 feet for that one. So I think we'll just get this set up. Here we go. As I suspected, this is no small track set. You can see it takes up a good portion of the room. You certainly don't find sets like this anymore for sale at your local stores all too often. It measures in at just under 10 feet long in this configuration and used up every portion of the track pieces that came with the set. The only things it didn't use were 2 connectors and the 2 lap counters, which is fine because those really just slow the cars down. And I'm not sure how strong these batteries are in these boosters. We'll see how they do. I did add the truss piece here to try and take hopefully some of the bounce out of the track as it comes up to the rise. And I'm using a couple Plano cases instead of the box, which I think would be too high, or books, which I don't have down here. This is a play area, not a reading area all that much. Without further ado, let's see if we can send a few of these 50th anniversary cars around for a spin. Now, I've tried this a few times. It's going to need a little bit of configuring to use these original Redline cars. These speed controls are pretty cool though. But without making a whole video out of it, I think I'm going to have to save this for a separate video. But anyways, there's the setup. However, I'm going to warn you, I've been struggling with it for a while. And I've used several different batteries. I gave up on the heavy 50th anniversary all-metal cars and went to my best, very best assortment of proven track cars for racing. And I haven't been able to get a car to go around this track completely. It's like a 1 in 20 chance. And the reason being is I think it needs some perfecting, some tweaking to get the track so that it doesn't throw the car for a spin in the bounces and all that in the corners. It's such a long track, there's so much movement and play. But the bigger issue, and maybe because these batteries are kind of old, although I've got a whole box of batteries, I've tried a lot of them, but I'm getting a real howl out of this one motor. And it doesn't have a lot of punch. Actually, wait a minute. Maybe we'll try again. This one's not nearly as noisy. Alright, let's try this one last time. This might just be lucky. No! I mean, this is the thing. I'm surprised it just went around there, because that's only about the 3rd time. Yeah. Anyways, it's really hit and miss. Let's try it from here. This one just keeps jamming up in there. I'll be surprised if it gets through. Oh, she did. But not enough juice to get all the way around. Oh! Oh! I mean, I don't think the cars get much faster than these ones do. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope there wasn't a bit of a letdown at the end here. This will be a to be continued. I'm going to have to do a little bit of tweaking with this set, but you know what? For what it is, it's all original, it's functional, it's a collector's item, and it's pretty darn cool looking. And it came with a lot of cool pieces, which, like, especially these corners, I could really make some cool sets with this with the more modern track that I do have already. Got bins and tons of track sets from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and into the 2000s even. So, anyways, we're going to work more on track sets this winter as part of the videos for you guys. This was kind of an experiment. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you're out collecting any of this stuff, as I always say, happy hunting. Feel free to leave me a comment or a question. We'll see you guys next week.